Okay, we're live again for those of you who want.
Hi again. We've been requested to stay live for a little longer with the number of questions. I guess we'll give it another 10 minutes. Trying to answer your questions, guys.
Questions?
You'll have to read. We've lost all your earlier questions, so ask again, please. Most of us are confused about Lone Ranger, what concept means. Is it the shape or the idea about what we are going to provide? I think it's finding that that vision about what will make a huge difference to the user of that space. And the user is threefold. The user is your client, the people who actually occupy it, as well as society. So it's a huge thinking process.
Yeah, so your concepts really come out of that. It's not from your head, it's about what's really going to make a difference in these three categories' lives: your client, your customer, and society at large.
Any advice for undergraduates? Yes, work, read, and yeah, have a lot of confidence in what your heart is telling you.
Hamlet Omelette is talking about how important are contacts, please. Obviously, contacts are important, but how you develop them is important.
Relationships is very important.
So it's really from giving yourself. So either you're writing or you're volunteering somewhere, you're basically letting people know what you can do by your actions. And people noticing that. So it's really first about going out there and giving at society at large or wherever, and that's how the contacts will be developed.
Importance of planning in large projects. My God, can't overemphasize that enough. But the principles of planning and defining those is what's most important. What do you want out of a project? Recently, somebody sent me a brief for a large school and they sent us a very, very linear site with just buildings stacked one after the other. The very idea that most of these public buildings need spaces for congregation and people to meet all the time, I think is one of the most important things to a project like that.
So it's really paying attention to the space between the buildings and how buildings relate to each other. The entrances of the building. So, for example, the campuses which we try to design, we not only respond to the site and the views and the levels, but to the journey students will take in the campus, and how friendly will the campus be? How will they allow people to interact and meet? What will the energy be like in the daily movement of people? How many people will they see when they move? So you can design a campus to be very friendly, and people make friends very fast, or you can have buildings that, if your buildings don't communicate with each other through their entrances, then the people won't. And I went to my son's campus in Boston in Tufts, and just realized that they had not understood these simple things, and that's why it was so difficult over there for students to make friends with each other. Their likelihood of their chance meetings was so low that if they just shifted things around a little bit, the friendliness on the campus would change. So it really comes from the questions you ask about the campus. And if any of you all want to know more about this, Charles Moore and his reading and on design of campuses and urban planning has informed me a lot. Also, I recommend anybody and everybody to read Christopher Alexander's Timeless Way of Building and Pattern Language, which tells you a lot about the process of design. someone asking about the process of design, that's another, I think, full 1 hour talk.
Yeah.
I can't get into that here.
Mohan Rora, thank you. If you come in, if I can. Going.
Architecture interiors is phenomenal.
How do you select our thesis topic? That's an important one, Arpit Malhotra, because your thesis forms the basis of your later thinking and explorations. It's such an opportunity. Look for that one question that's been in your head for a very long time. There's probably a question there, and look for that question and try to answer it through your thesis. How do you pick up clients? So there are two ways. They pick us up, or we, like Rahul has been doing, you try and look for a gap in society, create yourself as a thought leader in that gap, and people will come to you.
As someone, the draftsman, which project gave you the big challenges and what? I think the first time you're doing anything, because you have to formulate all the questions and formulate all the stories, that is the biggest challenge.
Fatima,
really
intuition, can intuitive ideas always succeed? You need a lot of analysis, and then you do listen to your intuition. So it's really a combination of logic and intuition.
Nikhil J, what is your perspective on net zero buildings as many cities create heat island phenomenon? I think net zero buildings are is a kind of an idea whose time has come. All our buildings aim to be net zero. I don't see any reason why buildings need to be built any other way. They pay for themselves in 4 or 5 years. So I think this is an idea whose time has come, and you'll see a lot more of it, and it will become a standard in a sense.
Some question there on engineers and are they doing architectural work. I mean, I think if you're an extremely talented engineer with an artistic bent of mind, sure, but I think we desperately need good engineers who understand architecture. There are about 2 in the country, and yeah, I'd love to see engineers who have a little more interest in architecture.
Samatha, views on the book The Fountainhead.
So Samta, I loved Fountainhead when I was, young, and before I took up architecture as a profession. As I moved through the profession, I began to find, to recognize that Howard Roark was really somebody who wasn't listening to his clients, who was too much of an egoist, and I'd rather not practice like that. I don't want to be in an ivory tower. I want to be an architect. So yeah, there's a lot of issues that I began to recognize as I went on my journey, and I'd rather we are all much more hands-on, interactive, and treat our clients like they deserve to be.
So like the Fountainhead or Howard Roark, who really believed in what he knew, I think that way of thinking is outdated because we're constantly learning. Projects and uses are evolving. The way a school used to be 10 years ago is not the same. Each time we visit a project, it's something new, and we usually learn a lot from our clients because people on the ground know a lot more about what they need, what is really going to make a difference to them than you know. So listening plays a great role, and asking the right questions plays a great role. So it's become more of a collaborative process, that you're trying to achieve something together rather than one person saying I know it all. So that way of working just
Mohan Rora, you can apply to my office. It's on the website. How do we start, Shreya Chadda, how do we start engaging people in topics of urban interest? Our conversations where the change can be catalyzed if more people push the government. Right on, Shreya. Rahul, you want to answer Shreya?
How do we start? I think we have to write about it. There are plenty of forums available, but start with writing. You can start your own blog. There are many ways. Now self-publishing is there. Use your Instagram account. There are just endless ways of doing it. Join various groups that are already doing it. Namisha, you're talking about how. So yeah, so the Symbiosis Hospital is already helping with COVID. They've converted many of its wards to isolation wards. So that's already happening with our projects. I think we're now reviewing.
Okay, I think we're going to end now. Why architects and designers are paid very less for what they deserve? What do you think needs to be changed? Yes, because more. I totally agree with you. It's I sometimes feel in the world the most essential services get paid the least, and the services that nobody needs, like Coca-Cola and big finance schemes, get paid the most. The Council of Architecture really needs to put some work into this and ensure that there are better fees being paid to architects. That to me is the most critical part of it. We pay reasonably well, but I don't think at the lower rungs it's good enough at all. But we're always juggling. We also charge maybe more than most architects, but we're always juggling to make our projects financially stable.
Okay, I think should call it a day.
We're going to call it a day, guys. Thanks so much for listening in, for sending in your comments. It was wonderful to interact. Do send in some, if you have important questions, send it straight to our independent Instagrams. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.